Bangkok, a megalopolis that stretches to the horizon and beyond. One of the world's greatest cities, an urban sprawl that never sleeps. At the end of the 19th century, Bangkok had a population of just 350,000. Today, 18 million people live in this vibrant capital and its suburbs. The animals that once populated the surrounding jungle and countryside have had to adapt or perish. Many have taken refuge in the heart of the city, occupying the thousands of kilometers of pipes and tunnels that riddle the ground, turning the underbelly of Bangkok into a bewildering labyrinth. Two kinds of animal lurk in the heart of this invisible metropolis: those that secrete venom and those that don't. We're going to be looking at all the ones that produce toxins, animals that have adapted to the follies of humankind in this overheated, polluted world. They're present everywhere, mainly sheltering in pipes and sewers, hidden corners and trenches, but sometimes slipping in between the sheets, seeking out the cool of a bathroom or hiding in a shoe by day or night. In the vast majority of cases, they inject their venom when they feel threatened and kill instinctively because they're alarmed. City dwellers fear these animals, some of which secrete sufficient quantities of powerful venom to kill an elephant. One of the most dangerous creatures in Thailand has slipped into a house in search of a dark corner where it can wait for night to fall before setting out to hunt. Reptiles generally avoid humans and their racket, but when it becomes impossible to escape it, they have to adapt or die out. In today's Thailand, forests only cover 20% of the land area, compared to 60% 50 years ago. The government's Royal Forest Department has set up national parks with a view to limiting deforestation, but the damage has already been done. With humans invading their territory, snakes have taken to roads, paths, villages and houses in search of space and food. Despite the terror they cause, reptiles play a vital role in the environment. Like all predators, they help to maintain a balance of species. Rodents especially would multiply and spread from the sewers to infest the city. Rats and mice would become a more dangerous threat than reptiles. If we could just overcome our phobia, we would admire snakes. Their method of locomotion alone is a miracle of evolution. They've developed the technique of reptation to move efficiently without arms or legs. Snakes form an S shape with their body, dig their scales into the ground, and push themselves forward. They do this using powerful muscles attached to the skeleton. The reptile's many vertebrae form a supple spine strong enough to handle the traction of these muscles. There are pairs of ribs attached to each cervical or dorsal vertebra, but none on the tail vertebrae. These ribs are not joined under the belly and stretch wide when the snake swallows a large animal. Snakes generally move at around 6 kilometers an hour. Although many Asian snakes in search of new territory are killed, some have been successful. They've found a new El Dorado, their promised land, a vast, warm place with endless ramifications, a gigantic warren full of food, the underground world of a megalopolis. Bangkok, with its overcrowded avenues bordered by quiet, almost provincial alleys, markets, sewers, and subterranean mazes teeming with rats, has been invaded by snakes. Monitor lizards demonstrate the ability of reptiles to adapt to Asian cities. Downtown Lumpini Park is now their territory. There are so many snakes in Bangkok that the government has set up a special call number, 199, for any reptile-related emergencies. In 2009, 2,935 calls were recorded and 2,744 snakes caught in the city. Despite this attempt at population control, the number of snakes increases each year. In October 2011, a third of Thailand was flooded. Built on a plain barely 2 meters above sea level, Bangkok didn't escape the disaster. Animals took refuge in houses. Although the situation had improved a few months later, the waters remained high, and undesirable animals were still to be found in some of the capital's homes. It was at this point that Mr. Sompo became an international star. The modest, courteous man has an unusual job title, Public Snake Hunter. A government official at the Navy Ministry, the 50-year-old is seconded in emergencies to assist citizens who have found snakes in their homes. Sompo has been bitten by snakes so many times that his system has grown resistant to their venom. He has developed antibodies. His body is mithridatized, to use the technical term. This Saturday morning, he's received a call from a man living in a district hit by October's floods. The disaster on an unprecedented scale claimed more than 650 lives and affected over 5 million people. The cost of the damage was more than $36 billion. Once a quiet green haven, the neighborhood has become a dump, abandoned by humans and taken over by tarantulas, scorpions, scolopendra, and snakes of all kinds. The homeowner saw a snake at his door 2 days ago. He claims the reptile was a cobra about 1.5 meters long. First of all, Sompo and his son searched the house. The snake could be hiding anywhere and might strike to defend itself. The two explore every nook and cranny of each room. Sompo intentionally makes a lot of noise. Hearing him, the reptile will try to escape rather than attack. The real danger would be to startle the animal, causing it to strike and bite instinctively. Now Sompo and his son spray a pesticide powerful enough to kill the insects that have filled the house, and above all, repel snakes. The cobra is nowhere to be found. It has obviously left. If it was still there, Sompo would have rooted it out. The relieved owner can tidy his home in peace. The pesticide will repel all animals for 10 days. The man will have time to clean up his house and make sure it attracts no more undesirable visitors. Another call. This time, a monastery in the city center needs Sompo's help. This morning, the gardener saw quite a large snake in a drain pipe.
เนี่ยแต่เนี่ยจากฝาท่อเนี่ยเปิดได้
ไหนเรามองเห็นเนี่ยไหน
นะ
หาเหล็กมาเราเปิดขอโทษ
มีอะไรเปิดไหมท่าน
เขาเหล็กหนีนิดนึงกลัวจะหนีไปก่อนนี่ก่อนนี่ลงคลองเหรอ
นู่นท่านบอกว่ามันจะไปออกทางนี้ไงมีอะไรมางัดนะเนน
มันออกทางไหนได้เนี่ย
นู่นนะรูท่อสุดแล้วออกทางนั้นใช่ไหมท่าน
เดี๋ยวกำลังเปิดฝาท่อก็คงจับได้เลย
โทษนะถ้ามันจำศีลมัน
จริงดันขึ้นไปทีนึงเลยเร็วเปิดแล้วต้องรีบไม่ทันละไม่ทันละ
ไป
The snake has slipped off into the pipes. The exits it could escape from must be blocked.
มีฝาเปิดตรงไหนครับที่ตะแกรงตรงนี้คุณโยมเดี๋ยวคุณโยม
The monks move into action, removing the covers from all the drains around the lawn.
กัดไม่กัดนะ
ไม่กัดไม่รู้วิ่งก่อนเลย
ก็เปิดก่อนโยมกัดมันจะออกทางนี้ครับโดยธรรมชาติของมันต้องออก
The young boy looks into the hole to see if the snake is lurking near the exit. Fortunately, it isn't. It must be trapped further up. Everything is ready. Neighbors have come to help the monks deal with the emergency. The drains are flooded to drive the snake out. Now, all that's needed is patience.
เอาดึงสายก็เดี๋ยวยัดดูนี่
อะไรก็ได้กระทุ้งมันมา
แล้วก็ตัวมันโดนตัวมันน่ะ
ต้องดักตรงนี้
This time, they're certain. The snake is just there between the two access points, refusing to move. The onlookers still seem happy to plunge their hands into the water. Is that really a good idea?
มันอาจจะคับท่อไง
การรายงานทุกท่อไปเลยครับเปิดข้างบนเลยฮะเปิดตรงนั้นเปิดมันอยู่เปิดประมาณเมตรหนึ่งก็ทุกเลยอย่าไปบังฝังทางอย่าฝังทางครับเนียนมาแล้วเร็วเอาไม้กระทุ้งหน่อยกระทุ้งเร็วมันออกแล้วไม้กระทุ้งหลังหน่อยช่วยเร่งหน่อยนี่ออกมานี่แล้วดึงออกฮะดึงออกนี่ไง
เฮ้ยอะไรวะเนี่ย
เด็กไปเมืองนอกด้วย
เฮ้ย
เด็กไปเมืองนอก
เห็นไหมมันก็ต้องอย่างนี้นะฮะถึงจะเอามาได้
ภาษาเด็กไปเมืองนอกด้วยแล้วไม่มีกระสอบบ้าง
นึ่งอ่ะ
In a few days, Sompo will release the python into the wild. Not something he'd do with venomous snakes, which are all sent to the Red Cross Snake Center. In the heart of the city, the Red Cross Center is a menagerie of venomous reptiles. The staff here work on producing antidotes. Founded in 1923 on the initiative of Queen Sawang Vadhana, then president of the Thai Red Cross, this reptile breeding center now holds more than 3,000 venomous serpents. Snakes captured in the city are brought here every day. Some of them, like this non-venomous python, are sent on to another facility on the edge of Bangkok. The center only keeps venomous snakes, such as this green viper, which is deadly despite its small size. Tasker, the veterinarian who runs the center, is busy with another arrival. This cobra was captured in town. Despite the cord binding it, Tasker handles the snake with caution. His right hand carries the marks of a moment of carelessness that nearly cost him his life.
At that time, I was doing a physical examination on the Siamese Cobra. That Cobra gets sick, and he cannot shed his skin. I tried to help him, but suddenly, after I remove his skin, he turned around and bit me on the finger, on the middle finger of right hand. All this area are dead skin.
Yeah.
Yes, that we call necrosis.
Yeah.
And the doctor make a skin debridement to cut the dead skin out.
Yeah.
And cut the skin and the subcutaneous from this area and also my blood vessel to transplant it here.
เอาไม่ตายพี่แต่มันในท่านได้เชือกมันรัดเอาหรือต้องเอา
When they arrive at the center, the snakes are restrained with a cord around their neck.
They try to find a way to catch a cobra.
Sometimes the rope is too tight.
Yes, this makes his head is swelling because the blood circulation was obstructed.
The veterinarian has to get the snake's circulation going again.
If we're getting better, just release the rope. We can find the snake in the town very often because a lot of snakes live near the human. They live in the sewer tunnels, they feed on the rats and sometimes the frogs. So it's many times that people in the town will confront with the snakes, both venomous and non-venomous. So we'll get the snake almost every day, just like the python, the cobra, and the pit viper. Because they can lay a large crunch of eggs. Sometimes maybe can reach to 60 eggs per one crunch.
Yeah.
And their population is increasing in Bangkok.
Thailand is home to more than 180 species of snake, 56 of them venomous. So there's an obvious need to study the reptiles here and organize research teams able to produce antivenoms. This four-story building was renovated in 1990. It has over 6,000 square meters of brand new premises. The first 2 floors are for the public, while the upper 2 are used for breeding and milking venom. It's no easy task to deal with all these snakes. The highly qualified staff work calmly and humanely as they tend to the needs of the reptiles. Today is a special occasion for the cobras, Bath Day. Every movement is controlled. Each second spent with the animal demands absolute focus. The keeper knows the reptile and can always anticipate its reflexes, which are often defensive. It takes a great deal of expertise to clean the cobra's living space. The cages are cleaned once or twice a week. Even when keepers perform the same tasks every day, they must never forget that a snake can strike at any moment. The toxicity of cobra venom is such that a full bite can release enough toxin to kill an elephant. The quantity of venom injected varies according to the type of bite. When a snake bites to defend itself, it only releases a small amount. But when it's hungry or flight is impossible, it can remain with its fangs sunk into its prey, making continual chewing movements to inject its venom deeply and massively until the animal dies. The keepers know all this. Since the center was opened, there have been no recorded accidents. It would be impossible for the keepers to feed their 3,000 residents every day. Fortunately, most of the snakes only eat once a week. Today, it's the cobra's turn. Naturally, the king cobra takes precedence. Its weekly royal banquet is made up of frogs. Its neighbor in the same row, the monocled cobra, has a more ordinary diet of small mice. 5 are counted out and the box is closed again. The cobra will eat when it wants. Spurred by hunger, they generally attack rapidly. This one bites both mice in one attack. The first to be bitten will die in a few seconds. The other will take a minute to go. The timing is decided by the cobra, which perfectly controls the amount of venom injected with each bite. The second mouse's movements become erratic. The venom is spreading through its system. Paralysis takes hold and the rodent finally drops. The cobra's swallowing and digestive process demand a considerable effort. As soon as it begins to gulp down its prey, it starts to breathe deeply. Its heart and lungs are working flat out. During digestion, the snake needs 40 times more oxygen than usual. A horse at full gallop can achieve this level of performance, but only for a few minutes. The cobra keeps it up for hours. The same applies to this hungry, large-eyed pit viper, which is preparing to spring. Its attack is precise and lightning fast. During the strike and subsequent digestion, the snake has to regulate its heart metabolism in just a few minutes. This extraordinary change is brought about by a sudden increase in the level of myosin, a heart cell protein. The process provides insights into why heart hypertrophy is sometimes seen in top athletes. It takes a very long time to appear in humans, but is virtually instantaneous in snakes. This cobra doesn't seem hungry. It simply intimidates the mice to try to scare them away. Cobras only kill to eat. Sometimes the snake doesn't sink its fangs into the mouse's flesh. In the wild, at least, the prey has a slight chance of escaping. This rodent tries to bite the snake to make it let go. The little mammal's bite can sometimes be fatal for reptiles when the wound becomes infected and develops into an abscess. Dr. Tasker has to intervene when this happens. This green viper was bitten by a mouse it was trying to swallow. The bite has grown infected. Tasker needs 2 assistants to operate on the snake. Despite its small size, it is very dangerous.
That's very because painful on his eyes. If we can release the pleasure, it can reduce their pain. That's really make it better.
The idea that reptiles feel no pain is a myth.
Yes.
One of the Red Cross Snake Center's goals is to teach the general public to respect and be wary of the reptiles who share their habitat. Each visitor learns that snakes contribute to the ecological balance of our world. Staff stress the fact that by limiting rodent numbers, they also help to control the spread of diseases passed on by rats and mice. Snakes are milked on the upper floors in an area where only experienced handlers operate. Venom has two main effects. It destroys tissue in order to spread through the organism more quickly and paralyzes the nervous system to immobilize the victim. When Dr. Tasker was bitten by a cobra, it led to paralysis that almost stopped his breathing and then damage to the tissue of his bitten hand. Without rapid surgery, that damage would probably have cost him his arm. The keepers milk their snakes once a week. Today, it's the viper's turn. This precious substance could kill a number of humans, but will be used to treat them. Each year in the rainy season, some of the houses in Bangkok are flooded. The rising waters fill the cellars first. The many insects and arachnids that shelter there are forced to seek another refuge. They often end up in unexpected places. Although custom dictates that visitors should remove their footwear at the door as a basic precaution, they should check their shoes carefully before putting them on again. On the other side of the world in France, scientists are minutely examining scorpion venom. A stone's throw from the crowds on the packed beaches of Cannes, a new research company is working to produce drugs from venom, particularly scorpion toxin. Just like their Thai counterparts, the scientists milk the scorpions by running a weak electrical current through the animal's sting to make them release their venom.
Today there are three drugs derived from snake venom. There's antihypertensive that was produced from the venom of a Brazilian snake, Brazilian viper. And there are two compounds for coronary syndromes, for example, heart problems. They're anticoagulants.
Snake venom is a complex cocktail of biological compounds whose composition changes according to the environment and season, and even the animal's diet. Although it's been studied for 50 years, venom hasn't yet revealed all its secrets.
Based on the research that's been done, today we think that there are at least 40 to 50 million compounds contained in animal venom as a whole. And we've analyzed 3,500 to 4,000. 4,040 million. There's a huge potential there.
Researchers have just identified a new ingredient in cobra venom, a neurotoxin they've called haditoxin. This substance, with a unique structure, could enable the development of new drugs. In particular, the scientists hope it will help to limit the effects of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, and even nicotine addiction. What would happen if a spider met a scorpion? It would try to eat it, but who would win?
The one that managed to impale or sting the other first. The scorpion has a very powerful neurotoxic venom too, so there'd be a fight, and it's never certain who'd win. These spiders actually manage to eat snakes and lizards, so they're capable of attacking very big prey, much heavier than them.
To overcome the specific difficulties of their environment, the animals have hugely developed the senses that help them to survive. The scorpion is a particularly interesting example. Despite its deficient vision and poor sense of smell, it can leap on its prey with remarkable precision. Its 8 legs are equipped with sense organs able to detect the vibrations produced by any moving animal. The scorpion turns in the direction of the legs that received the signal first, and so are nearest to the target. It can also gauge the distance separating it from its prey. Scorpions prefer the cool of the night to the heat of the day. Most of them show a peak in their activity at the end of the day when they leave their shelters. At that point, they spend many minutes exploring the territory around their hiding place and attack any intruders, especially fellow scorpions. These 3 scorpions can sense each other's vibrations. The smallest plays dead, remaining frozen. The larger ones go into battle. The scorpion on the left sinks a lethal sting into the one on the right. The fight is over. The poison takes effect quickly, steadily paralyzing the victim. The struggle was brief. The winner will eat the dead scorpion. Contrary to what we might imagine, scorpions aren't at their most active when they hunt. A scorpion in search of prey alternates between quick bursts of movement and long halts. As soon as its prey comes close enough, the scorpion grabs it in its claws. When it can, the scorpion saves its venom and uses those claws to kill its victim. Not today, though. A tarantula, one of the scorpion's main predators, is hunting on its territory. Tarantulas are formidable hunters and can detect the approach of prey with their many long, mobile hairs. These grow on the palps of their jaws and their legs and cover most of their body. The warning sensors pick up movements of air and vibrations and provide the spider with information about its surroundings. Even though the 2 animals' sensory systems are highly developed, their behavior is governed by instinct alone. Their actions are pre-programmed. In other words, even if a scorpion is caught and raised in a terrarium, it will remain a wild animal incapable of recognizing the hand that feeds it. It will never be a pet. Bangkok is built on either side of the Chao Phraya River, the River of Kings. More than 2,000 canals irrigate the city. Vessels of all kinds move in every direction on this lacework of water. Express taxi boats, outboards, little rowboats, and junk barges. Following the river, they can quickly travel from the heart of the city to the harbor, where the warm sea teems with dense, rich underwater life. While the city dwellers risk snake bites and scorpion stings, the Thais who live by the sea, about 30 kilometers from the city, face other threats. Each year, fishermen and seafood eaters also end up in hospital.
สัตว์ประเภทของพิษเนี่ยการเกิดพิษเนี่ยนะฮะการเป็นพิษต่อ
There are two ways of producing venom. There's venom that's triggered when you touch a fish, a stonefish, scorpionfish, or lionfish. These sea creatures have spines carrying a venom gland on their fins or heads. Predators are injured when they touch the spines. The venom is very painful and paralyzes our system. It weakens muscles and hinders breathing. Sometimes people faint just after they're stung. Another type of venom is found in the bodies of fish and can be dangerous when eaten. This venom builds up in the flesh of the fish and internal organs such as the liver and ovaries. The blowfish, for instance, produces tetrodotoxin in these organs. We can accidentally poison ourselves by eating these fish. What's more, the venom doesn't break down when heated. It's still there, even when the fish is cooked. Every year, many Thais are poisoned by these fish.
The king snake eel produces a very deadly venom, listed as one of the most toxic in the world. Fortunately, the animal isn't too aggressive and flees from humans. Also, its fangs are quite short and would be unlikely to pierce a diver's suit. This isn't at all the case with its cousins, the land snakes, who live not far away in a much quieter setting. Many volunteers give up some of their time to work with the first aid units that travel around the city, providing assistance to people who've been bitten by snakes and other venomous animals. These volunteers are often to be found parked at the side of the road at a strategic junction, waiting to be called on the radio. The incidents they attend are mainly snake-related. They have to act quickly. A friend of the victim who witnessed the accident describes a snake that sounds like a cobra. The reptile's venom contains a neurotoxin that attacks the victim's nervous system. The main effect is pain comparable to that of a sting, which moves outwards from the bite. If the toxin spreads, edemas would soon appear on the victim's feet, accompanied by oozing serum and blood. Tissue around the bite would die. The young man would feel his legs, neck, muscles, tongue, lips, and finally throat stiffen and become paralyzed. He would struggle to speak. He would begin to dribble a little and be unable to swallow. His breathing would grow labored and he'd vomit blood. He could fall into a coma and die of asphyxiation. Fortunately, he won't have to go through all that. He's been treated in time.
คือตอนนี้คนไข้มีอาการอะไรครับ
He was brought in with his eyelids drooping and respiratory distress. The first thing we have to do is intubate him to help him breathe. Next, we have to look at the type of snake. I think it was one with neurotoxic venom. That's why the patient has trouble breathing. We then have to take a blood sample to check his clotting rate. That's when we'll decide which antivenom to administer. The antivenom will make the venom break down faster.
As usual, Dr. Montini takes photos of the bite. For the moment, the tissue is still healthy, but tissue deterioration, which occurs in less than 24 hours, will have to be closely monitored. Tissue damage very often leads to necrosis around the bite, and sometimes even over the whole bitten limb. This young man was lucky. He's reached the emergency room less than 2 hours after being bitten. Even so, he'll need a skin graft on his calf and will be in hospital for a month. On the outskirts of Bangkok, some young people who cannot find work risk the cobra's bite to earn a living. The cobra is prized for its meat and skin, and a snake is worth $20 on average. To put that into perspective, a Thai manual worker earns $200 a month. Unfortunately, it's a risky business, and many snake hunters end up in the emergency room of Bangkok Hospital. In this suburb, reptiles are common and quite easy to catch. First, the hunters must find a hole and dig, hoping the snake is there. Now the two young men will go and sell their find to Mrs. Chuang. Her house has become a local institution. Tarantulas began to hunt snakes a year ago.
Well, there isn't much to do around here, especially since the floods. There's no more construction work. You have to be brave to be a snake hunter, you know.
They don't teach this new trade in school.
No, I learned how to do it, how to catch them by watching the others. I learned what you have to do after you catch them, too.
แล้วปีหนึ่งเนี่ยมีความคิดว่าตัวเองชำนาญจับงูยัง
Now I do okay. I've even gone out to catch snakes on my own a few times, but mostly my friends go with me.
แล้วจับงูได้เนี่ยจับงูขายเนี่ยเอามาขายใครแล้วขายราคาเท่าไหร่
Mrs. Chuang is well known in the catering world, but more for her cobras than her cooking skills. The former snake hunter began to trade in the reptiles when her husband was bitten while out hunting one day and almost died.
แล้วทีนี้พอรับซื้อเนี่ยแต่ละวันเนี่ยมีงู
Every day, many young people come here to sell cobras.
Yesterday, I sold 60 kilograms of cobras.
ปกติเนี่ยเขาเอางูไปทำอะไร
But it changes from day to day. It can be up to 100 kilograms a day. We use their skins to make purses and their meat for cooking. You have to make sure the skin isn't damaged. If there are injuries, customers won't buy it.
แล้วคนแถวนี้เนี่ยกินดีงูกินเนื้องูไหม
กินเนื้องูดีงูกิน
แล้วกินกันยังไงครับ
People around here eat snake meat, but they mainly love the liver. You soak the liver in rice spirit. It's a good treatment for nearsightedness. I know snakes don't have good eyesight, but that's the way it is. If you eat it, it improves nearsightedness. That's why it sells well.
อันนี้คือดีงู
Those are livers we've mixed with rice spirit.
แล้วเวลาทำดีงูนี่ทำเองเลยป่ะ
I remove the livers myself.
เจ๊ต้อยกินไหม
Personally, I don't like eating snake. I don't eat any at all these days. I used to eat it when I hunted, but not anymore.
According to the World Health Organization, snakes bite around 5 million people each year worldwide. Their bites cause serious injury or disablements to 3 million of those people and claim about 125,000 lives each year. Again, according to the WHO, snake bites cause more deaths and disability than some much more publicized tropical diseases such as dengue fever, cholera, Japanese encephalitis, and Chagas disease. About half of all snake bites occur in Asia, mainly in India, which records up to 50,000 cases each year, making it the worst-hit country in the world. Many bites are never reported. Those most exposed to snake bites are poor farmers in rural areas. Many don't have access to national health services or the means to travel to them, so they turn to unofficial local healers. In Thailand, where the authorities have been making serious efforts to deal with this scourge for years, only 10 of the 10,000 snake bites recorded annually are fatal.